Thank you for calling Penny, PA's health insurance marketplace. How can I help you?
I need help paying my health insurance premiums.
You came to the right place. Penny gets you the lowest costs on high-quality plans.
Enroll now at penny.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
What a wonderful day!
Welcome to Temple Strength and Sport Performance, where we empower you to reach new heights in strength, speed, and athletic performance. Temple is here to support you every step of the way. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, join him in Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania, and discover the difference. For more information, call 412-527-1755. Start your journey with us today.
Do you have a favorite leather couch or chair that's damaged? Has your car, boat, or RV's interior seen better days? Maybe your business's furniture or your private aircraft's interior could use a little love. You're probably thinking replacement is going to be expensive. And what happens to the damaged piece after you throw it out? Does it just end up in a landfill? It doesn't have to. FiberNew specializes in the restoration of leather, plastic, and vinyl. To get an estimate, connect with us today.
Look at him, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, climbing his way through the corporate rat race. We've all been there, focused on that next raise, promotion, chocolate bar. Keeping an eye on your health can be exhausting. Weight Loss Direct is a personalized wellness and weight loss program. We utilize an AI algorithm to determine your specific foods and match you with a real-life coach and an easy-to-follow meal plan so you could stay on track to success and health. Check out weightlossdirect.com to learn more.
On a cold and rainy Wednesday night, the December basketball action heats up as it's the first doubleheader night of the season against a common opponent as the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders welcome in the Penn Trafford Warriors on TenbandTV. Hi, everyone. Austin Bechtold pleased to be with you courtside for tonight's matchup. With the girls playing Penn Trafford and the boys to follow, big rematches on both sides as Baldwin went to Penn Trafford a year ago, lost the matchup. The boys, when they went to Penn Trafford, were victorious, but as you may remember, the boys lost right here at home. First round of the playoffs was number 2 seed to number 15th ranked Penn Trafford Warriors. That will be the nightcap. But the game first As the Fighting Highlanders currently 3-1 on the year on a 3-game winning streak and undefeated at home this season at 3-0. A team last season that put together an overall solid year at 16-11, 8-4 in section play. That loss against Penn Trafford was 57-46, back and forth for a majority of it before Penn Trafford ultimately pulled ahead at the end. And that was a part of a very storied back and forth season for the Fighting Highlanders that resulted in a playoff victory in Penn Trafford, an undefeated regular season. As we pause for our national anthem performed by the Baldwin Heirs. Baldwin at 3-1, Penn Trafford at 2-2 on the season. The lone loss on the year, 52-47 against Shadyside Academy. That started the year on the road on December 3rd. Then the Baldwin Peters Township tip-off tournament. The Fighting Highlanders defeating Pine Richland 61-44. A talented team, but it is still trying to put some pieces together. Upper St. Clair, big victory, 51-45 right here. It was a 1:30 tip-off on December 6th. Fighting Highlanders win it in overtime, and that's an Upper St. Clair team that has given Baldwin fits, whether it be in section play, whether it be in non-section play, playing in 6A, now non-section and 5A with Upper St. Clair playing up in 6A. And the Fighting Highlanders winning 42-31, a pretty convincing victory against South Park, the game on Monday. Next matchup after this one for Baldwin will be the start of section play against the Peters Township Indians. So we'll have it right here for you on TenbandTV. It's doubleheader night next Tuesday. And now Brad Schulte delivers the starting five for the 3-1 Fighting Highlanders. The starting lineups first for the visiting Penn Trafford Warriors. Junior guard Isabella Fontana wears number 1 with Rhea Johnson, a sophomore 5'10 guard, wears number 2. Olivia Weishar wears 10. Her sister Hannah Weishar, fellow seniors, wear number 14. And Tori DeStefano wears number 24 for the Penn Trafford Warriors, coached by Chuck Fontana in his first season. A former assistant of John Giannakis, the head coach of last year's team that overall went 25-2, had a perfect 22-0 regular season, but ended up with the number 3 seed in the 5A WPIAL playoffs. For the Fighting Highlanders, same starting lineup as Monday. Lindsey Bernanis, the junior guard, will lead the point, wearing number 1. Jules Ott, the senior guard, one of the most improved players in the entire WPIAL, wears number 2. Kelsey Meyer, last year's 6th man in the starting lineup. This season, the junior guard wears 22. Isabella Niles, the senior captain, wears 25. And Hannah Prilla will jump it up, the sophomore forward, for Jamal Woodson in season number 6. Baldwin in its home white, purple numbers, and purple trim. The road green with gold trim for the Penn Trafford Warriors. Tip one back to Baldwin, and Bernanis attacks. Now Jules Ott with it. Zone defense deployed by Penn Trafford to start. Meyer trying to dribble out of it, loses the basketball. Still free and in play and taken by the Warriors. Penn Trafford attacks the right side basket as you see it to start. Hannah Weishar with it, 3-point ball up, and it bounces off the mark for DeStefano. Rebound cleared by Prilla. Looks for an outlet and is able to find Ott. Cross court is deflected on the way there by DeStefano, and another steal. 2 possessions, 2 steals for Penn Trafford. Olivia Weishar with it inside the paint. Kicks it out. DeStefano off a couple of dribbles. Swings it to the corner, near side. 3-point ball up for Johnson, and that's good. Rhea Johnson with the first points of the game, and good ball movement by the Warriors. 2 teams that like to play fast, like to play up-tempo. 2 different defensive styles so far as Prilla's trapped, is able to dribble out of it. Now Lindsey Bernanis gets a screen from Meyer, goes the opposite way of it. Bernanis drives all the way in, has some space, and finishes off the glass. Lindsey Bernanis, the lefty with the left hand, able to capitalize to tie it up. DeStefano, the veteran leader. Starter a year ago. Look, back door wasn't there, drives in, floater off the front of the rim, rebound Bernanis. Lindsey pushes up the floor to Niles. Able to corral it before it went out of bounds towards the bench. Niles drives in, turns around, and goes back to Bernanis. Bernanis deflected on the way to Ott at the left side wing. Defended by Fontana. Bernanis looks to Prilla. Good find, layup, misses. Prilla second chance at it. Will go to the free throw line. That's now multiple rebound opportunities for Hannah Prilla, who had 13.5 a year ago as her average per game. As Hannah Weishar picks up the foul. And Prilla able to drain the first. Second shot from Prilla is good. Gives Baldwin a 4-3 lead. Fighting Highlanders back off the pressure a little bit. Trying to force a trap right near half court. And it swung around and almost out of bounds. Olivia Weishar able to corral it. Now DeStefano drives. DeStefano inside and finishes. Good move by Tori DeStefano to be able to create some space. Kind of stepped inside the middle of the paint to get back to the right side block. Niles drives in, spins. Niles all the way in, almost a travel. Tried to outlet to Bernanis. Might have been deflected on the way to Lindsey as she goes back to pick it up, and it is rolled over and back. So not deflected, and Jamal Woodson, who is decked out in red, white, and blue USA suit that is very unique and part of his persona with the purple jacket on Monday night. It's the USA theme tonight. Inbounded right at the Baldwin bench. As they'll throw it in with DeStefano. Looking back for DeStefano, not there. Weishar drives, dishes, 3-point ball up, and off the mark on the attempt from Olivia Weishar. Off the pass from Hannah. It's knocked out of bounds, staying with Baldwin. So Bernanis will go back to retrieve it. With 5:29 to go, first quarter of play. Penn Trafford with a 1-point lead. Austin Bechtold with you, courtside here on TenbandTV. Fighting Highlanders, non-section action. Section play begins next week. A difficult matchup against Peters Township. A Peters Township team does not have Wetzel, their star player, who went to Miami in her freshman year, but still a very challenging team to play. Steve Lamberio is their head coach. Swung it over to the corner, and Niles gets a screen from Bernanis. Niles took only one bounce of it. It goes back out to Jules Ott up top. Looking to set it up. Meyer is fouled. It's a push from Rhea Johnson for her first. It's the second team foul against Penn Trafford in the quarter. Off to throw it in. First option to Meyer wasn't there, and they have to back it out to Bernardus. Lindsay over to Niles. Back to Bernardus. Bernardus drives, dishes to Prilla. Worked the first time, not the second time. This is corralled by DeStefano. Up the floor goes Olivia Weishar. Weishar looks for an outlet, finds DeStefano. DeStefano drives, kicks, open three ball up. Hannah Weishar. It takes a couple of bounces and misses, and Baldwin clears the rebound. It's odd in transition. Jules looks down low to Meyer. Prilla cuts to the basket, and Meyer backs out to the corner. Deflected by Weishar, but into the hands of Bernardus. Lindsay drives, loses her footing, and it's taken away into the hands of DeStefano. About a sloppy basketball in the first couple of minutes. Almost half the quarter gone by. Fontana drives, floater no good, and Prilla corrals the air ball. Two substitutions set to check in for Baldwin. As Ott gets it over the timeline. Pressured full court by Johnson. And Johnson picks her up top. Penn Trafford is going into man-to-man defense as Prilla has it in the perimeter. Down low, Meyer. 5-4 lead for Penn Trafford. Meyer back to Prilla. Meyer cuts to the basket, can't find her though. And it's back up top to Bernardus. Lindsay drives in right side, looks for the outlet pass, deflected on the way to Meyer, and a jump ball is the ruling, sending the possession arrow back to Baldwin. Two substitutions come in for the Fighting Highlanders as Lacey Bernardus, the senior guard, comes on for the first time, as Hannah Prilla will take a seat, and J.C. Klingensmith also comes on. Klingensmith celebrated in action a year ago, started off the season well, 7 points against Shady Side Academy. As Bernardus goes off, Prilla goes off, so the 5 for Baldwin, Kelsey Meyer, Isabella Niles, Lacey Bernardus, Jules Ott, and J.C. Klingensmith. No substitutions yet for Penn Trafford. Don't typically run a very deep bench. Play a lot of the same veteran players, 4 returning starters. As DeStefano drives in, good feed down low, plus the foul. Count it for Arabella Nichols. Talked about how many players don't come off the bench. Well, Nichols just did and scores in her first opportunity. Foul goes on Lacey Bernardus, her first. So it sends Nichols to the free throw line to double up the lead. 8-4, Penn Trafford leads. Ott to Meyer, back to zone. Ott pulls the trigger for 3. Off the front of the rim, rebound corralled by the Warriors. Good box out by Johnson. And a Weishar to DeStefano. DeStefano looks down low. Weishar off the side of the backboard. Tries to corral her own miss. And it is ruled out of bounds. Weishar had a foot on the line as she touched it. As Lindsay Bernardus comes back in, Bella Niles off to the bench. Annabella Aquino subs in for Penn Trafford, wearing number 12, a senior 5'3" guard. Back to Ott up top. Swung around Klingensmith. Back to Ott. A lot of movement with zone defense. Try to move the ball quick and set up a shot for Lacey Bernardus to drill it. Moneyball Lacey Bernardus with her first shot attempt. And it drives the score to 1 with 2.5 to go in the first. DeStefano deflected by Bernardus. Ott with Bernardus wide open down 4. They try to throw it to Meyer and it's not there. As Lindsay was wide open, but Jules just never saw her. As Bella Niles will come back onto the floor and Ott will take a seat. Another look at the Lacey Bernardus 3. She likes the corners as the main areas to shoot from. Baldwin sets up a lot of its offense to be able to create those opportunities for Lacey to take advantage. Here's DeStefano, guarded by Klingensmith. Gets around Klingensmith, and a foul called. As DeStefano will go to the free throw line. And the foul goes on Isabella Niles, her first. That is the second on Baldwin of the quarter. Each team has been assessed 2 fouls. So Tori DeStefano to the free throw line. DeStefano averaged 12 points per game last year and misses the first, averaging 16 per game so far in the early 4-game portion of the year. Olivia Weishar returns to the floor. DeStefano set the check out if she makes the free throw, and does. Hitting on the second. She comes out as Bella Fontana returns. Bernatis. Klingensmith trying to look back door, but it's not there for Niles. Instead, it's back to Bernatis on the perimeter. Lindsay dribbles around Fontana, gives it up. Niles drives in. Niles, high shot that hits the wire above the backboard and just didn't have control of it on the shot. And you can see on her facial reaction as well. You could tell the errant shot was not even close. Under 2 to go first quarter. And a 2-point lead for Penn Trafford. Fontana gets a screen, rolling off of it. Nichols loses it though, and it's into the hands of Bernatis. Lindsay up the floor. Klingensmith with Niles. Niles can't corral the bounce pass. Now has it and trying to get it out. Goes back to Klingensmith and Meyer. Open three left side. Misses everything, and it goes out of bounds to Penn Trafford. And talking before the game with Chuck Fontana, he wants to play a quick, fast, up-tempo game. Baldwin wants to do the exact same thing and force steals defensively. And said to him, so this is either going to be like a 62-60 type of game, or this is going to be a 35-34 game. And there's a ball to increase the score. Rhea Johnson with 2 threes in the matchup. She has 6 points to lead all scorers. Penn Trafford up 12-7. And Bernatis, with what appeared to be a push-off, it's instead ruled a blocking foul on Fontana. So Isabella Fontana picks up her first. And the bench, Coach Fontana thought had to be an offensive foul. A little surprised that it wasn't. Seemed like a distinct push from Bernatis, and it's inbounded to Ott. Klingensmith goes off the floor. Lacey Bernatis with it. Ott was wide open, just back into the game. Couldn't find her on the left side block. Bernatis up top in the final 45. Gets a screen from Niles, goes the opposite way. Bernatis drives all the way in, floater doesn't go. Chance for the offensive rebound is missed and corralled by Olivia Weishar. As Weishar dribbles around, trapping goes to Fontana. Fontana out of bounds, loses control to the Highlanders. DeStefano returns in the final 30 seconds for Penn Trafford. Hannah Weishar also back into the game. Johnson with 6 points leads everyone. Nichols with a 3-point play, and DeStefano with a bucket and 1 of 2 from the free throw line. The Penn Trafford scorers so far. Bounces it to Meyer. DeStefano playing off. Meyer drives in, and we'll go to the line. And it goes on Aquino, her first. That's the 4th foul in the quarter on Penn Trafford. And it sends the junior Meyer to the line. And off the back of the rim on the first. 4 out of 5 starters back for Baldwin this season. Kelsey Meyer, the new starter, into the equation this year. And she gets the second to round it out with Lindsay Bernatis, Jules Ott, Kelsey Meyer, Isabella Niles, and Hannah Prilla, the 5 for Baldwin, to start the night and to play the primary minutes here in the first quarter. DeStefano, stolen away by Bernatis. Lindsay gets a hand on it, right hand, finishes. 12-10, 2 seconds left. Weishar runs out of time. Shot won't count. And we've reached the end of the first quarter of play with a 12-10 advantage for the Penn Trafford Warriors. Back in a moment on TenbandTV.
Thank you for calling.
2-point lead for Penn Trafford as we start the second quarter of play. Austin Bechtold with you. Baldwin basketball coverage here on TenbandTV as the Fighting Highlanders have had 4 different scores. Lindsey Bernard is the only scorer for the Fighting Highlanders to score twice with 4 points. As Kelsey Meyer 1 or 2 at the line. Hannah Prilla has hit both, and Lacey Bernardis a 3-pointer to put up 10 on the board for Baldwin. And it's inbounded to Ott. Jules Ott, Lacey Bernardis, Lindsey Bernardis, Isabella Niles, and Kelsey Meyer, the 5 for Baldwin. Lindsey drives in, gives way, but a push and a foul is called on Bernardis. This time, an offensive foul. Kind of a fool me once, not going to get fooled again type of equation for Bernardis after pushing off on the first one that ended up being called a defensive foul. Second time, though, they get Lindsey for the foul. Hannah Weishar with it. Gives it to Olivia. And Olivia Weishar, guarded by Niles. Man-to-man for Baldwin. Looks for an outlet. Goes to Fontana. Fontana with Kelsey Meyer delivering pressure. Back up top. DeStefano swings. Fontana. Now Olivia Weishar. DeStefano off one dribble. Pulls. Misses. Rebound. Olivia Weishar finishes on the left side block. Her first points. And Baldwin just not able to clean up the glass there. As Niles, off the deflection, was able to dribble it again. Meyer swings it across. 3-point ball up for Lacey, and it misses this time, and a rebound corralled by Fontana. Hannah Weishar with some speed. Bounces it to Olivia Weishar on the baseline. Swung across for an open 3. Johnson has already hit 2. Can't hit a third, and it's rebounded by Ott. Jules Ott quickly up the floor to Niles. Niles drives in. Kicks. Lindsey Bernardis pulls from 3 at the Penn Trafford bench. Off the front of the rim. Good box out once again by Hannah Weishar. She moves in transition. Defended by Niles. Weishar takes the contact. No foul called. And Lindsey Bernardis moves up with it. Good defense from Niles. Bernardis drives in. Lindsey left hand. Can't get it to scoop in. Offensive rebound. Meyer fights for it with Fontana. And it's rolled a jump ball. Sending the possession arrow back the other way. So Penn Trafford takes the arrow. And in a back and forth game, it's been a physical game so far, and Baldwin that likes to take advantage of running in transition really has not had much of a chance to do that. Good job by Penn Trafford to get back on defense as Johnson drives baseline, deflected by Bernardis, and Lacey forces it to Lindsey. Lindsey Bernardis up the floor. Down low for Niles. Niles bounces to Lacey. Kelsey Meyer pulls open 3 straight on. Off the back of the rim. Ott fights for the rebound with DeStefano, and it's last touched by Jules Ott. There's been good fight, and there's been good effort on the Baldwin side, as well as for Penn Trafford. And Penn Trafford, a well-coached team, with fundamentals especially. And for an undersized team, just like Baldwin is as well, very important that you're good rebounding the basketball. They've done a good job of it so far. As Olivia Weishar dishes to Hannah. Hannah Weishar inside. Swing around to the corner. Johnson open 3. Rebound to Stefano. Down low. Shot up and spun in for Johnson. Just a good enough touch to give her 8. Rhea Johnson with 8 of the 16 for Penn Trafford. Play called out for Baldwin. With Lindsey Bernardis looking and goes to Ott on the right side wing. Bernardis cuts. Calling for Niles to set a screen. Ott drives all the way in. Jules Ott creates space and finishes. Not much room available, but Jules Ott was able to find it to just squeeze it in. DeStefano kicks. 3-point ball up for Olivia Weishar. Actually, Hannah Weishar. That's able to get it to go. So both Weishars have scored. Fontana, the only player for Penn Trafford that has not scored yet. Bernardis down low. Niles, good feed and able to finish on the scoop layup. All 5 starters for Baldwin have scored. Hannah Weishar up top. Guarded by Niles. Weishar able to create space, just goes right around the defense. Fight for the rebound. Still fighting. Penn Trafford's able to grab it. It's Johnson. Go to the free throw line. And Johnson, a chance to have double figures in points as we approach halfway through the second quarter. Foul goes on Kelsey Meyer, her first, just the second on Baldwin of the quarter. So it sends sophomore Johnson to the free throw line. Averages 8 a game. Plays in the AAU circuit as well. Perfect on the first attempt. J.C. Klingensmith returns for Baldwin. Also Hannah Prilla. Annabelle Aquino back for the Warriors as well. 4:08 remaining second quarter. Penn Trafford continues to grow the lead. Out by 7. 10 points for Johnson. An abbreviated press for Penn Trafford, trying to force some pressure up the floor as Lacey Bernadas goes to Lindsay, and they break it. Looking for Lacey, not there. Open three, Klingensmith, left side corner. It's money ball for J.C. Klingensmith. Now she drains it with ease. Bernadas and Klingensmith with threes in that corner, and it's deflected by Lacey Bernadas. Out of bounds, looking for Johnson on the cut. Make it 21-17, a 4-point lead for Penn Trafford. So we continue to go back and forth, but trading buckets. It's been Penn Trafford that's had the lead for majority of the game. They try to get it into Stefano, but instead, it's last touched out of bounds by Aquino. Can't corral it right near the Baldwin bench. Fontana, Olivia Weishar, Hannah Weishar, and Tori DeStefano all returning starters for Penn Trafford. So Rhea Johnson, the only new starter. So very similar as Baldwin. With 4 returning starters and just one player coming off the bench to join the lineup. Lindsay Bernadas drives in, has to back it out to Lacey, swung around Ott. And Ott will reset up top. Man-to-man for Penn Trafford. They've been switching it up. Baldwin's also shown some zone as well. As it's Prilla looking for Klingensmith down low. Prilla knocked away out of bounds. They'll stay with the Fighting Highlanders on the right side block. Arabella Nichols subs in for Penn Trafford. To Klingensmith, looking down low. Isolate Lindsay Bernadas. Bernadas gets it to go. Off a couple of bounces, Lindsay Bernadas has 6. So around for 3, Aquino. Left it short, tries to fight for the rebound. It's Lacey Bernadas that pulls it out. And a 2-on-1 emerges. Lindsay with Ott. Jules, left hand, high off the glass. And it rolls in. We're tied at 21. 2.5 to go before half. Fontana backs it out to Aquino. Now to Stefano up top. Guarded by Lacey Bernadas. Aquino gets the screen. Forward to Stefano to drive, and it's poked away by Klingensmith. So Baldwin has shown good help defense. Multiple different occasions as Lacey Bernadas goes off and Bella Niles comes back on. Klingensmith defends the basketball with Aquino to throw it in. And Jules Ott able to poke it away. The force to steal. Jamal Woodson calls timeout. So with 2:13 left to go, second quarter, it's the first timeout that is used on either side. And what has become a tie game, a quarter that Baldwin has done a really good job of being able to put consistent offensive production in. With Niles, Klingensmith, Ott, and Bernadas all scoring in the quarter. Everyone that has played for Baldwin tonight has scored. Fontana and Aquino, the only players for Penn Trafford so far that have been held off the score sheet. Baldwin last year finished 16-11, but won its first-round playoff matchup against Chartiers Valley 73-72, and that was a thrilling game that went down to the buzzer. Fighting Highlanders, though, lost to South Fayette, a team that absolutely dominated all of 5A and one of the best teams in the state, arguably is the best team in 5A in the state. That game at Mount Lebanon, 67-31. So the Fighting Highlanders went to the consolation round, beat Bethel Park, who they had success against in the regular season as well, twice playing against the Blackhawks as a section opponent. and beating them twice by double digits. They did so again, but just by 6 in the consolation round, and then lost to Penn Trafford in the 5th place consolation just by 1, 70-69, the final score. So these two teams played twice last year, and the Fighting Highlanders were 0-2. Foul goes on Rhea Johnson, her second. It's just the first on Penn Trafford here in the quarter. As Lindsey Bernatis will throw it in, and was asked, a couple of players were asking, what's the play? And Lindsey just said, get open, which they were able to do to Ott. Ott looking to create. We'll set it up with Prilla, Klingensmith, and Niles currently on the block. It's Lindsey Bernatis driving in. Bernatis goes to Prilla. Prilla, jump shot, good. Hannah Prilla with the basket. Give her 4 on the night. The Fighting Highlanders take the lead, 23-21. Here's Fontana, looks down low, blocked by Niles. Bernatis up the floor, has Niles. Bella Niles, plus the foul. It is a Bella Niles. Defensively, offensively, does it on both ends. Hannah Weishar picks up her second foul. So Hannah Weishar and Rhea Johnson with 2 fouls. And Baldwin, a solid scoring run. At one point, was down by 7 points. This is currently an 11-0 scoring run. Niles can't make it 12. Bernatis fights for the offensive rebound. Same with Prilla. It goes out of bounds, and it will be ruled Penn Trafford basketball. Seemed like there was a little bit of a thought to see if it would stay here or not, but ultimately ruled Warriors ball. And Baldwin with Bernatis and Ott will pick up in the press, try to force some pressure. Klingensmith as well with Niles. They force the trap. Klingensmith and Bernatis, and forces a jump ball. Bring the ball back to Baldwin. The ball went right into our cameraman Dustin courtside. Oh, good, Dustin. As Ott will back it out. Niles pulls the trigger from 3. That's banked in. Isabella Niles with the money ball for 7 points on the night. She now leads the Fighting Highlanders in points. It's a 28-21 score. Ball went up by 7. They scored 14 unanswered. Johnson trapped. In the final 40 seconds, it's Fontana driving. Fontana on the spin. Double team comes. Able to kick it out to DeStefano. DeStefano gives way to Olivia Weishar, who drives in. Backed out again. It's DeStefano in the final 30. DeStefano looking for room. Not there. Kick to the corner. 3-point ball up, and it takes a couple of hops. Looked like it was off the top of the backboard on the shot from Hannah Weishar. Fight for the rebound goes to Ott. Jules gets it poked away into the Baldwin bench, and it stops the clock with 11.7 to go. Baldwin boys will play next against Penn Trafford. At the conclusion of the girls' game. As Ott kicks to Niles. Swung around Klingensmith. Now Bernatis with 2 seconds. Traveled with 1.5. So now you just try to prevent Penn Trafford from getting off a good look before the half. As they throw it in, it's taken away by Bernatis. Bernatis, half-court heave. 28-21. Fighting Highlanders put up 18 points in the second quarter to take the advantage after trailing by 2. They're up by 7 as they go to the locker room. The 28-21 advantage. Baldwin leads it here on TenbandTV.
Thank you for calling Penny, PA's health insurance marketplace. How can I help you?
I need help paying my health insurance premiums.
You came to the right place. Penny gets you the lowest costs on high-quality plans.
Enroll now at penny.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Olivia Weishar with it inside the paint. Kicks it out. DeStefano off a couple of dribbles. Swings it to the corner, near side. Three-point ball up for Johnson, and that's good. Lindsey Bernatis gets a screen from Meyer, goes the opposite way of it. Bernatis drives all the way in, has some space, and finishes off the glass. Lindsey Bernatis, the lefty with the left hand, able to capitalize to tie it up. Same veteran players, 4 returning starters. As DeStefano drives in, good feed down low, plus the foul. Count it for Arabella Nichols. Talked about how many players don't come off the bench. A lot of movement with zone defense. Try to move the ball quick and set up a shot for Lacey Bernatis to drill it. Moneyball Lacey Bernatis with her first shot attempt. And said to him, so this is either going to be like a 62-60 type of game, or this is going to be a 35-34 game. And there's a ball to increase the score. Trafford up 12-7. And Bernatis, with what appeared to be a push-off, it's instead ruled a blocking foul on Fontana. Calling for Niles to set a screen. Ott drives all the way in. Jules Ott creates space and finishes. Not much room available, but Jules Ott was able to find it. Looking for Lacey, not there. Open three, Klingensmith, left side corner. It's money ball for J.C. Klingensmith. To Klingensmith, looking down low. Isolate Lindsey Bernatis. Bernatis gets it to go. Off a couple of bounces, Lindsey Bernatis at 6. It's short. Tries to fight for the rebound. It's Lacey Bernatis that pulls it out. And a 2-on-1 emerges. Lindsey with Ott. Jules, left hand, high off the glass. And it rolls in. It's currently on the block. It's Lindsey Bernatis driving in. Bernatis goes to Prilla. Prilla, jump shot. Good. Hannah Prilla with the basket. Give her 4 on the night. The Fighting Highlanders take the lead, 23-21. Here's Fontana. Looks down low. Blocked by Niles. Niles plus the foul. Isabella Niles, defensively, offensively, does it on both ends.
calling Penny, PA's health insurance marketplace. How can I help you?
I need help paying my health insurance premiums.
You came to the right place. Penny gets you the lowest costs on high-quality plans.
Enroll now at penny.com, paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
We're back for the start of the second half of action in a 28-21 lead for the Baldwin Fighting Highlanders up against the Penn Trafford Warriors. Austin Bechtold with you, guiding you through this season as the Baldwin boys will play next against Penn Trafford, looking for some revenge. And yeah, revenge might be the wrong word to use, but a little bit of a get back after Penn Trafford eliminated what was supposed to be the season of all seasons for Baldwin, winning a section championship for the first time in 39 years and looking for that coveted first WPIAL championship for boys basketball in a season that ended up being all for naught. 21-1 ended up being 21 and done for Baldwin, and the boys take the stage next, but the girls finish it up, looking for a victory and put together a really good performance in the quarter. After trailing at 21-14, Baldwin only scored 12 points in the first quarter of play. They only scored 10 points, I should say, in the first quarter of play. Fighting Highlanders put up 18 in the quarter. They go on a 14-0 run as well to be able to make it 28-21. As we flip ends, Penn Trafford will attack the left side basket as you see it, and Baldwin will attack the right side to be thrown in by Tori DeStefano. Starting five back out there on the floor for Penn Trafford as they start down low for DeStefano, but can't get the layup to go. It's Prillo to clear on the rebound. Bernatis moves with it quickly. Lindsay Bernatis, Hannah Prillo, Jules Ott, Isabella Niles, and Kelsey Meyer on the floor for Baldwin as Lindsay Bernatis has scored in all three quarters. DeStefano with it. Defended well by Meyer. Has to dish it to the corner. It's Olivia Weishar. Weishar, double team comes from Prilla. It's out of bounds. Prilla, as he touched the basketball, had a foot on the line. So we'll stay here out of bounds at the right side block. To be thrown in by Olivia Weishar. Hannah Weishar can't hit the layup. And an offensive foul is called on the rebound attempt. They're going to get Hannah Weishar for her third. First in the quarter against Penn Trafford. To Niles. Gotta move it, and they do. Up the floor to Meyer, but it's stolen away. DeStefano takes it. Now Fontana, back to DeStefano. And Weishar, guarded by Niles. Man defense for Baldwin. Weishar drives in, looks for an outlet. Goes to Olivia Weishar. Fontana drives in, kicks to Johnson. Johnson, who's made 2 threes in the game and has 10 points to lead Penn Trafford. She leads all scorers. Now Fontana, scoop layup, was right underneath the basket. Second chance effort, though, goes for Hannah Weishar. Weishar with 5. Jamal Woodson calling out over from the bench. It's just too slow to move the ball up the floor, and they do get it over with Bernatis driving in. Lindsay pulls up from the foul line and hits. Double figures for Lindsay Bernatis, now with 10. Niles tries to poke it away from Hannah Weishar. It's Johnson on the layup, missed, and rebounded by Prilla. Prilla outlets to Bernatis, but it's taken away by DeStefano, and a jump ball is called with the possession arrow, keeping it with Baldwin. Two minutes gone by, third quarter. Meyer gives it to Bernatis. Lindsay Bernatis being pursued by DeStefano. Tried to pass it over to Meyer, but it's deflected a couple of times and in the hands of Olivia Weishar. Weishar up the floor. 3-on-2 emerges for Penn Trafford. Giving way to Johnson. Johnson's layup's in. 12 for Rhea Johnson. Niles back to Ott. Ott up the floor. It's Bernatis. Bernatis with Meyer. Bernatis creates space, can't finish on the layup. Prilla offensive rebound off the glass, too strong. Rebound is corralled by Penn Trafford. Quickly up the floor, 2-on-2 with Johnson for Fontana. Fontana takes the contact and causes it herself for an offensive foul. It's the second on Isabella Fontana on the night. Full court press from Penn Trafford, but not applying much pressure right at the ball. Trying to force Baldwin to pass it and draw steal at half court. Prilla to Bernatis. Lindsay drives in. Lindsay has space, can't finish. Fight for the rebound is corralled by the Warriors. Weishar. Fontana. DeStefano gets tripped up and is fouled. Stops the clock with 5 minutes left in the quarter. So it goes on Isabella Niles. That is her second. Niles the only player for Baldwin with 2 fouls. As J.C. Klingensmith comes on, Prilla goes off. Lacey Bernatis comes on as well as Niles will take a seat. Hannah Weishar to inbound. Quickly in. Lacey Bernatis trying to force a steal. Lacey fighting for it, but now it's Johnson that has it. Now Olivia Weishar. Weishar guarded by Bernatis. Out to Fontana. Now DeStefano will set it up. Weishar pressured by Ott. They switch off of it with Ott. And now Bernatis goes to force pressure on Hannah Weishar. And it's stolen away by Bernatis. Lindsay drives all the way in. Left hand, it bounces in. Lindsay Bernatis with 12 points. And currently a bench warning is being assessed to Baldwin. So it's not a technical. It is a warning. As the bench is currently pleading that whoever was being signaled to was just cheering and putting their hands up in the air and waving them back and forth and clapping as well. And I couldn't really tell entirely what the case was. But the lead for Baldwin now up to 9. Penn Trafford with 4 points in the quarter. Baldwin with 6. 3-point ball up. Weishar. Doesn't go. Fight for the rebound. It will go to Baldwin. Jules through traffic. Jules up. Gets fouled. We'll go to the line. And it's upped up by Mr. Bernatis. So it's 2 shots for Jules Ott as Isabella Fontana picks up her third. It's also the third in the quarter called against Penn Trafford. Jules Ott to the free throw line. And hits the first. Well, it's 5 of 8 in Monday's game against South Park. Arabella Nichols returns for Penn Trafford. Ott can't hit the second. Bernatis tries to grab the offensive rebound, and instead it's Johnson. Up to Aquino. Aquino drives in, dishes. 3-point ball up. Weishar. Another miss from deep for Penn Trafford, and an offensive foul called on Nichols. Her first on the box out attempt. Just had her hands hooked. She was attempting to grab it. Now Penn Trafford will just play half court. And what has become a 10-point game. A huge difference for Baldwin last 2 quarters. Bernatis, open 3, right side. DeStefano up the floor to Aquino. Aquino against Meyer. Nichols for 3. Rebounded by Bernatis. Lindsay looks up the floor. Has Klingensmith. Now Ott. Jules Ott. Drives. Gets blocked on the way up. And a foul called on Kelsey Meyer as Aquino, as DeStefano, I should say, was driving and potentially was going to outlet to Aquino. But Meyer just in the wrong spot. Picks up her second. Brooke Boss comes on, a sophomore guard for the first time. A 35-25 game. Baldwin in the bonus. Next time they're fouled on the floor with 3 minutes left in the quarter. Aquino drives in, looks down low, finds Nichols, turns around, and will shoot 2. Nichols, who has a 3-point play earlier today, 1 of 1 at the line, will shoot 2 and 3. As the foul goes on Lacey Bernatis. It's her second. 3 on Baldwin in the quarter. So Nichols will shoot 2, and she makes the first. And all 5 starters for Penn Trafford are getting looks at the D3 level. Coach Fontana said he's kind of worried about them playing against taller teams. Baldwin not one of them, but they box out well. Baldwin's done a good job of cleaning up the glass on multiple occasions and hitting efficient shots. Just 26 points for Penn Trafford with 2:45 left in the third quarter. Meyer loses her dribble, gets it back to Bernatis. Lindsay Bernatis cross court to Ott, and it sails out of bounds. Throwing it like a quarterback over the intended receiver's head. So DeStefano brings it up to Boss. Double team comes against Boss, trying to force a steal. Lacey Bernatis does, and throws it to Ott. Jules with Bernatis, and might have been kicked. They don't call it, though, as DeStefano takes it. And DeStefano on the perimeter. Looks down low, taken away by Lacey Bernatis. 2 consecutive steals, and a foul is called on Johnson. Bernatis back-to-back steals. DeStefano picks up her first, and it's the 5th foul of the quarter on Penn Trafford. So free throws coming for Lacey Bernatis. So 2 for Lacey. Can't hit the first. Has a triple in the first quarter. Bella Niles comes back on as Klingensmith will take a seat. I've only seen Lacey Bernatis and J.C. Klingensmith off the bench. No Leah Bernatis or Mia Schwarzmiller, who comes off the bench for Baldwin. Drive inside, Aquino misses everything. Might have been blocked. Thrown down low. Good pass to find Bernatis, who hits the layup. 14 for Lindsey Bernatis. And the great find on the other side. Johnson drives. Bernatis fouled. Fouled Johnson. Now she poked in and tried to force a steal. And it's Lindsey Bernatis' second. As Isabella Fontana comes back in for Penn Trafford with 3 fouls. They'll send Brooke Boss off to the bench. Ball will be inbounded at the left side block with 1:50 still to go in the third quarter. It's a 12-point lead for Baldwin. Just 5 points for Penn Trafford in over 6 minutes. They get it into Johnson. Johnson to the corner. 3-point ball up for Nichols. Left it short. It's been a common theme on the 3-point attempts as Niles forces a steal. He's tried to, and results in a jump ball, keeping the arrow here. Both teams in the bonus as well. Already 5 fouls on Penn Trafford. Next one for Baldwin will be the 5th. They get it into Johnson. Johnson looks down low to Nichols. Nichols turns around, left hand, can't finish. Offensive rebound, will shoot 2. Arabella Nichols, 2 of 3 at the free throw line so far. Foul goes on Isabella Niles, and it's the 3rd foul on Niles of the night. Nichols can't hit. Senior forward. J.C. Klingensmith back on as Bella Niles goes off to the bench. And Olivia Weishar back in for Penn Trafford as well in the final 1:30 of the third. Both free throws off the mark. Bernatis able to grab the rebound, and Johnson fouled her. Unless they called a timeout first at the Baldwin bench, and it was indeed a foul. That goes on Rhea Johnson for her 3rd foul. So it sends Lindsey Bernatis to the free throw line for the first time, already with 14 on the night. Giving her a moment at the free throw line and tucking her shirt. A pretty frequently enforced rule in high school basketball. As Bernatis misses the first. Would love to know the difference between having the shirt tucked in and not having the shirt tucked in and why it's such a big deal, just out of curiosity. We'll have to ask our officiating crew as Bernatis misses them both. DeStefano to Fontana. Fontana still looking for her first points, and there they are with a 3 ball on the left side corner. A wing corner area to give Penn Trafford its first points in a while. Make it a 9-point game. Can Penn Trafford cut this deficit to 6 or maybe 8 before the start of the 4th? Make it more manageable. No shot clock in high school basketball, at least as of yet. We'll be here in a couple of years. As Meyer looks to a cutting Lacey Bernatis, who gets fouled inside the paint. We'll go to the free throw line. Tori DeStefano picks up her 2nd. Both coming in this quarter. Lacey Bernatis 1 of 2 at the free throw line so far, and she can't hit. Baldwin undefeated at home so far, 3-0. Doing a good start to the year, home cooking. The only loss coming on the road, and just like the first time, Bernatis makes the 2nd free throw. 5 on the night. Fontana to Weishar. They're up the floor. DeStefano down low, swing to the corner, Fontana. Fontana dishes to Olivia Weishar. Drives in, looks for Johnson. Johnson pulls the trigger for 3. Rebound to DeStefano. DeStefano, layup. Doesn't roll in, but she'll go to the line. And now we're starting to see the tide turn in terms of rebounds on this side of the floor, with Penn Trafford starting to find more and more offensive boards. As the first free throw is good for DeStefano. She's now 2 of 3 at the line. they've done a good job of neutralizing DeStefano, only with 4. She averages 16 a game this year and is a Seton Hill commit. Fontana averages 8, and that three-point ball she had a couple possessions ago was her first points of the night. Aaliyah Bernatis into the game for the first time for Baldwin. Primarily a really solid defensive player, just a freshman. So it's Ott, Lacey Bernatis, Aaliyah Bernatis, Kelsey Meyer, and J.C. Klingensmith the 5 for Baldwin. Ott with it has to give it up before the 5-second count, and they go over to Aaliyah Bernatis, over to Lacey in the final 11 seconds of the quarter. Now Ott up top. Jules has time with 6 seconds. Tries to dribble away, looks down low. High pass was deflected by Olivia Weichar. Weichar gets the shot off in time, but misses everything as the third quarter comes to an end with an 8-point lead for Baldwin, 39-31. The differential was 7 at half. It's now 8 as we go to the fourth quarter on TenbandTV. Eight minutes remaining in regulation. Austin Bechtel with you courtside as the Fighting Highlanders hold on to an 8-point lead, and Bella Niles will throw it in right in front of us at the scores table. In the Ott. It's Ott, Niles, Meyer, Lacey Bernatis, Hannah Prilla, the 5 for Baldwin. Starting lineup back out there as Prilla has it. Trapped in the baseline. Gives it up to Meyer. Meyer's shot bounces in. This is the first field goal for Kelsey Meyer. Had a free throw in the first quarter. DeStefano drives, defended by Prilla. Weichar tries for 3. Too strong. Rebound. Fontana tries to rip at it. Fighting with Ott. And the possession arrow. Keep the basketball right here. Ten-point lead for Baldwin. Trying to defend the paint. Right off the inbound. And they get it into DeStefano. Guarded by Meyer. DeStefano stops, starts, goes, and scores. That's Tori DeStefano's first field goal since the first quarter when she was one of the first scorers of the entire game. She only has 6. Lead 4 general for Penn Trafford has been held in check by this stout Baldwin defense. Down low to Meyer. Swung across for a 3-ball up for Niles. That hits the top wire above the basket and ruled out of bounds. Now DeStefano swinging it across. Olivia Weichar in the corner and Johnson. Swung on over again for a 3-ball up to DeStefano. Trying to heat up with 9 points. Cuts it to 5. Here's Ott. Over to Bernatis. Man defense for Penn Trafford. Bernatis gets a screen from Prilla. They don't switch off of it. Johnson still defending against Bernatis. And a foul is called. It's a reach. Called against DeStefano. So they get DeStefano for her 3rd. Hannah Weichar had to sub back in. And she takes Nichols off the floor. Meyer gets it poked away out of bounds. And it'll be inbounded right in front of the bench. 6:23 to go fourth quarter, 41-36. Baldwin in the lead. Here's Bernardus. Looking, goes to Ott. Ott on the perimeter. Gets the screen. Looks down low. Prilla off one dribble, goes to Meyer. Ott resets again. Looks for someone to come up and set a screen. Kelsey Meyer ready to do so. Same thing with Hannah Prilla. Just what side do they want to go to? Setting the cut for Ott to be able to drive to the basket, but Niles threw it away. It's another Baldwin turnover. Offense has gotten sloppy on the last couple of possessions. Here's Fontana. Swung across Olivia Weishar to the corner, and Johnson down low. Open layup, but missed. But Fontana able to grab the rebound. 3-point ball up. Weishar can't hit. Johnson can't save it. As it goes out of bounds. And they're going to force Isabella Niles to tuck in her shirt as well. The referee saying, I don't make the rules. Now they're going to send one Fontana for Penn Trafford off to the bench to tuck in the shirt, or at least seems like a delay of some kind, and they're going to force her to have to sub out. Wow, never seen that before. That's what they're doing with Rhea Johnson. And now a technical foul is called against Chuck Fontana, arguing with that rule. And that just seems to be a little excessive, but it is a technical against the Warriors. So Jules Ott will go to the line to shoot the technical. And that's a big call. Shot and the ball. It's mixed first. Now 6 points for Ott. And Jules hits them both. With 5:32 to go in the fourth quarter, Niles will throw it in 43-36 as Ott was able to hit both free throws, plus Baldwin gets the basketball. They were going to do so anyway, but it's the 2 extra points, and you get the possession. Here's Ott, screen from Niles. Ott looks to Meyer. Kelsey wide open. Gives way to Bernardus. Gets a screen from Meyer. Bernardus drives inside and loses her footing as it's called an offensive foul on Bernardus. She stepped on the foot of Fontana. And it's the third on Lindsey Bernardus. So Rhea Johnson back in for Penn Trafford. As they try to swing it cross court to Johnson. Meyer couldn't get a hand on it. Johnson pulls from 3, misses everything, and it's rebounded by Lacey Bernardus. Lacey to Lindsay, and they move up the floor. With speed, Lindsay drives all the way in, gives way to Meyer. Meyer dribbled it off the foot of DeStefano, and it will stay here. 4:47 to go. A 7-point lead. Going to get it in time, but Baldwin can't. It's ruled 5 seconds against Ott, but checking at the official on the sideline, Baldwin was able to call a timeout. Jamal Woodson got it off. That is only the second timeout used by Baldwin in the game. Penn Trafford has not even used one yet, and it's a full timeout. So 43-36. Lindsey Bernardus leads all scorers with 14 points. Rhea Johnson, 12 for Penn Trafford, and Johnson typically averages about 8. The Weishars, Olivia averages 5, and Hannah averages 7, but Hannah has 5, and Olivia has 2 in the matchup. DeStefano with 9, well below her average. as Baldwin has kept Penn Trafford pretty much below its scoring average throughout the game. They beat Alderdice and put up 70 points earlier this year. They put up 45 against Berlin Brothers Valley, 53 against Norwin, 58 against Penn Hills. This right now at 36, trending to be the lowest point total of the year, pretty much by far. Their Berlin Brothers Valley game at Woodland Hills in the Play for May tournament at Woodland Hills. The 65-42 loss. As Niles will throw it in at the right side block. It's Niles, Ott, Lindsey Bernatis, Lacey Bernatis, and Kelsey Meyer, the 5 for Baldwin. As they get it in, Ott. Ott, left side block inside the paint. Can't get it to bounce in. Lacey there for the offensive rebound. And dishes it back out to Jules, who will reset. Jules, screen from Niles. Back up top to Meyer. 4.5 to go. Lacey Bernatis needs an outlet. Johnson takes it away. Rhea Johnson with the steal. Niles defends. Johnson calls a foul and one. Rhea Johnson, 14 points and a chance for 15 to continue to cut the lead. It's the 4th foul on Isabella Niles. Good steal from Johnson. Go all the way in and stick the layup. Can't hit the free throw as Lindsey Bernatis is there for the rebound. 43-38. Bernatis over to Niles. Niles playing with the 4 fouls. Lindsey Bernatis has 3. The foul trouble for Baldwin. Johnson and Fontana, as well as Hannah Weishar and Tori DeStefano, all with 3 for Penn Trafford. Ott over to Meyer. Niles was cutting inside the paint. Kelsey couldn't find her, though, as Meyer drives in. Left hand too strong. Rebounded by Penn Trafford. Olivia Weishar moves up the floor. Looks for an outlet and is able to give way to Johnson. Johnson kicks. Open 3. Fontana. Rebound. Fought for. And it was taken by DeStefano, but ruled a jump ball. A possession arrow favoring Baldwin. 5-point game with 3:33 left. And Penn Trafford will deploy full court press, trying to trap and bringing more pressure than they did early on in the game. Actually pretty similar. Niles gets it over to Ott. Back to Ott. Jules drives in. Foul called. Wave it off, though. They're going to call the foul on the floor. And they're going to get Hannah Weishar for her 4th. And it's the 3rd on Penn Trafford in the quarter. As Lindsey Bernatis drives in. Lindsey scores. 16 for Lindsey Bernatis. She scored in every quarter. Only player for Baldwin to be able to do that. And the layup's good on the other side for DeStefano, now in double figures with 11. And a timeout called by Penn Trafford in a 45-40 game with 3:03 remaining here in the 4th. It's a full timeout called by the Warriors. And 2-2 on the year. They've gone loss, win, loss, win. The pattern would make this a loss, with Baldwin undefeated at home so far. Fighting Highlanders beginning section play, 5A Section 4, against Peters Township. Next week, doubleheader action against the Peters Township Indians. And you wouldn't think, Baldwin and Peters, rivals, 2 very competitive teams, that would be the team that you'd play first in section play. You'd think it'd be maybe a little bit later. Baldwin girls went to Peters last year and put up a fight, but it was a tough effort. Boys ended up winning at Peters. Section play begins December 16th right here on TenbandTV. We'll be followed by Trinity. Albert Gallatin, a section game. before Christmas break in Uniontown on January 6th, a 5:30 matchup at Uniontown. The first road game in section play. 3 minutes to go here in the fourth. Austin Bechtel with you on TenbandTV, 45-40 with Ott giving way to Meyer. Swung around to Lindsey Bernatis. Now Niles up top. Bernatis trying to bring the double team. It goes over to Ott. They're sending Fontana as the extra defender to try to force it. Niles to Meyer. Good look, top of the key, but it's off the back of the rim, and it's rebounded by DeStefano. DeStefano looked up the floor, has Fontana. DeStefano, guarded by Ott. Back to Fontana. Swung around. Weishar wanted to pull the trigger for three, but Hannah Weishar will now try to dribble it inside the arc and gets around Meyer. Weishar, good move, gets fouled. It's a veteran team. Hannah Weishar, Olivia Weishar, Tori DeStefano, three seniors in the starting five. As the foul goes on Kelsey Meyer for her third. First free throws for Weishar. Can't hit the first, and free throws have been a problem for Penn Trafford in this game. Nichols has missed 3. DeStefano has missed 2. Johnson has also missed a free throw. If they make them all, we're tied. That one is made by Weishar. And a 4-point game. Swung around to Bernatis. Johnson got a hand on it. It's Meyer. Double team. Timeout. Called by Baldwin. 2:05 remaining. And a 4-point game. Fighting Highlanders have 2 remaining. Penn Trafford still has 4. And it's a 30-second timeout for Baldwin to take it. Penn Trafford's season ended last year in the PIAL 5A playoffs. Just in the first round, losing to Middletown on the road, 52-50. It was definitely a strange season overall for Penn Trafford. They finished the regular season 22-0. They beat Upper St. Clair in a non-section game, 59-57, in the final game of the year on the road in the regular season. They beat Plum at home, 63-46 in the playoffs. And then they lose in overtime to TJ. Consolation round beat Indiana. Then they beat Baldwin by 170-69 at Penn Trafford. And then they lose in the 5A playoffs. Head coach steps down. Chuck Fontana, who's an assistant, steps in. He was an assistant for 3 years, and he's a first-year head coach. After they finished 22-0 and finished the year as a number 3 seed, a lot of controversy came around that seed as to why Penn Trafford was a 3 seed, but teams that were seated ahead, including Peters Township, just viewed as better teams. As the inbound goes into Bernatis, and will shoot 2. And Hannah Weishar picks up her 5th. She is fouled out with 6 points. They bring Nichols back in. Has Bernatis already with 16 points. Goes to the free throw line. Bernatis leads all scorers tonight. And adds on with 17. That's the second. 18 for Bernatis. Back up to 6 with 2 minutes to go. Olivia Weishar throws it out of bounds, looking for Johnson, who was cutting more towards the hoop and didn't stop at the bench, is where the ball was thrown to. The turnover by Penn Trafford, very costly with limited possessions left in the fourth quarter. And Baldwin can continue to control the basketball. Bernatis just threw it up for grabs, and Meyer keeps it from going out of bounds. Double team comes. Baldwin trying to force a timeout. And now whistles signaling. What was the ruling? Was a timeout granted? It was. A timeout was granted to Baldwin right before the ball was lost. Very close to being a turnover. And Baldwin will take a full timeout. Baldwin boys set to take the floor. waiting patiently at the corner of the gymnasium. Set to go. And now security is being signaled to escort someone out of the game, it seems, on the near side right by us. And you can see the student section decked out in red, white, and blue. But now they're sending a man. Someone just walked out of the gym, a Penn Trafford fan, on his own volition. There's Mr. Shaner trying to get security. And there's our do-it-all guy, Buck, you can see in the corner of our screen as well, just kind of watching on with his staff hoodie. So here goes Shaner trying to escort somebody out of the game. And just kind of shrugs and isn't really sure entirely what's going on as security is being sent into the stands. So we've seen T-shirt being tucked in, delayed part of the game. Seeing some other oddities you don't necessarily see. And a foul was called on to Stefano, her fourth, and she was defending against Ott and just trying to force a steal. Fourth on Tori DeStefano, and it sends Ott to the line. Ott 3 for 4 at the free throw line tonight with 7 points. And she's got the first. Jules Ott, who had 11 in the game against South Park to lead Baldwin. Bernardis had 9 that night. She's doubled up that total and gave Ott 9 on the night. Now Olivia Weishar, pressured well by Bernardis. Look down low. Johnson turns around, puts it up, can't finish. Johnson offensive rebound, misses again, and Lindsey Bernardis pulls down the rebound. Bernardis just trying to get out of there. Johnson trying to force a jump ball, and Bernardis was able to pass it over to Ott. Ott moves with Lacey Bernardis at the right side block. Now Meyer, and Meyer will back it out. Now Ott. And Baldwin trying to kill off some time as Olivia Weishar will apply pressure in an 8-point game. Ott can't get away from a 5-second count as Olivia Weishar, with good defense, was able to force the turnover. And just the signal here, you got to get the shoulders past the defender, was explained to a fan right by us in the Ott family. You got to have your shoulders towards the hoop in a scoring position and be able to get away from the defender to reset that clock. As DeStefano pulls from 3 off the back of the rim, takes a couple hops, and Ott's able to bring it down. Jules on, outlets to Lindsey Bernardis. With Lacey moving up the floor, Lindsey decides to take it herself and dribble all the way in. With Niles on the block, goes her way, and it's stolen away. As Niles was trying to find Bernardis. It's Weishar moving up the floor in the final 36 seconds. To the corner. Fontana pulls for 3. They need it. They got it. Isabella Fontana, her second 3. Makes it a 5-point game with 31.8 still to go. 49-44 and a timeout called by Penn Trafford. It's a full timeout called by the Warriors. As Baldwin looks to hold on and continue its strong start at home, make it a 4-game winning streak. Annabelle Aquino set the check back in for Penn Trafford. So we'll see what Baldwin does. Needing to get the ball up the floor, and then it'll really just be a bunch of free throws. And if you make them, you're going to come away with a victory. If you can't, and that is the thing about the rules that have been the case for a very long time in girls high school basketball. You get in the penalty and you shoot 2 shots. It used to be the old 1-and-1 system for boys before it changed a couple of years ago, where the 7th foul of a half would result in 1-and-1 and 10 would result in 2 shots. It's now 5 in each quarter. As Lindsey Bernardis is trying to dribble out of the press. They get it up to Niles, and now Lacey Bernardis with Meyer as well. They give way to Meyer. Now Ott back up top. Ott just trying to dribble it out, throws it over to Niles. Niles to Bernardis. Lindsey Bernardis continuing to kill clock, and a foul called with 17.1. And a good job by Baldwin to be able to kill off about 10 seconds. As Isabella Fontana picks up her 4th. So Lindsay Bernatis back to the free throw line. Already with 18. That can't hit. Free throws for Bernatis tonight. Currently 2 for 5. No one in the lane for Baldwin. Will send everybody back to play defense as Bernatis misses them both. DeStefano to Weishar. Olivia Weishar traveled. And it sends Chuck Fontana dejected over at the bench, which just puts his hands on his head. Baldwin gets it back and tries to get it inbounds. They do to Ott. Jules Ott fouled immediately. 11.2. Foul on Olivia Weishart, just her first. So Jules Ott back to the free throw line. 4 for 4 in the quarter, 5 of 6 in the game. And Ott's got the first in double figures with 10. Ott got them both. Now with 11 on the night. DeStefano brings it up the floor to the corner. Aquino tries for 3 and got it. Timeout called by Penn Trafford. Annabelle Aquino, first points, and it comes with 2.3 remaining. It's a 4-point game, 51-47 after the triple. 30-second timeout called by Penn Trafford. As the Warriors, after this, will begin section play tomorrow against Greensburg-Salem, followed by games at Latrobe, 6 o'clock start at Penn Trafford, at West Mifflin. And before the start of the new year, we'll play at North Hills, non-section game 1:30 on December 30th. So 2.3 remaining. Does Baldwin elect to just throw the ball down the floor? And even if nobody gets possession, it just could kill off the rest of the clock. Instead, a foul is called as Bernatis was approaching the basketball. And it goes on Fontana. She's fouled out with her 5th. So it brings Brooke Boss back in. So Lindsay Bernatis, after missing her last 2, goes back to the free throw line for what should be the last free throw attempts of the game. And Bernatis got this one. 19 in the game. And Bernatis will finish with 19 as the Fighting Highlanders win it 52-47 in a 4-game winning streak for Baldwin. As a back-and-forth game saw Baldwin in the lead for all of the second half. And a strong effort, a strong performance by the Fighting Highlanders against Penn Trafford, a team that it lost to twice last year, a team that went undefeated in regular season play at 22-0. Baldwin able to win it in pretty convincing fashion and convincing style for a large portion of it. A good performance by the Fighting Highlanders in this one as the boys team will take the floor momentarily, looking for their rematch against Penn Trafford. And we'll step aside for a moment and be back on the Fighting Highlanders taking the floor in just a moment, as we're going to see if we can try to get a player over as well. See if the message was received at the scorer's table. Yeah, Lindsay Bernatis with 19 points. So Baldwin wins it 52-47 against Penn Trafford. And we bring Lindsey Bernatis over to say hello. Lindsey, 19 points tonight. What was the ultimate key to getting this one done?
I think in the beginning we worked really hard. We knew Penn Trafford has really good guards, and I think just whenever I get my assists up, it opens me.
Now, you lost to this team twice last year. Was there a little bit of added motivation coming into it?
Yeah, last year we technically should have won that game, so it made us really pumped up to win this time.
What has been the key to this winning streak after the first loss of the year against Shadyside? Now 4 in a row.
The key is we've been very positive, and we share the ball really good. We have really good chemistry.
So section play begins next week against Peters Township. What are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to winning again.
Lindsey, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
As Baldwin wins at 52-47, Lindsey Bernatis, 19 points in the victory, the junior guard. Victorious for Baldwin. Stay tuned. The boys team takes the floor momentarily here on TenbandTV. Olivia Weishar with it inside the paint. Kicks it out. DeStefano off a couple of dribbles. Swings it to the corner near side. Three-point ball up for Johnson, and that's good. Now Lindsey Bernatis gets a screen from Meyer. Goes the opposite way of it. Bernatis drives all the way in. Has some space and finishes off the glass. Lindsey Bernatis, the lefty with the left hand. Able to capitalize. They tie it up. Same veteran players. 4 returning starters. As DeStefano drives in. Good feed down low. Plus the foul. Count it. For Arabella Nichols. Talked about how many players don't come off the bench. A lot of movement with zone defense. Trying to move the ball quick and set up a shot for Lacey Bernatis to drill it. Moneyball Lacey Bernatis with her first shot attempt. And said to him, so this is either going to be like a 62-60 type of game, or this is going to be a 35-34 game. And there's a ball to increase the score. Trafford up 12-7. And Bernatis, with what appeared to be a push-off, it's instead ruled a blocking foul on Fontana. Calling for Niles to set a screen. Ott drives all the way in. Jules Ott creates space and finishes. Not much room available, but Jules Ott was able to find it. To just looking for Lacey, not there. Open three, Klingensmith, left side corner. It's money ball for J.C. Klingensmith. To Klingensmith, looking down low. Isolate Lindsey Bernatis. Bernatis gets it to go. Off a couple of bounces, Lindsey Bernatis has 6. It's short. Tries to fight for the rebound. It's Lacey Bernatis that pulls it out. And a 2-on-1 emerges. Lindsey with Ott. Jules, left hand, high off the glass. And it rolls in. It's currently on the block. It's Lindsey Bernatis driving in. Bernatis goes to Prilla. Prilla, jump shot. Good. Hannah Prilla with the basket. Give her 4 on the night. The Fighting Highlanders take the lead, 23-21. Here's Fontana. Looks down low. Blocked by Niles. Niles plus the foul. Isabella Niles, defensively, offensively, does it on both ends. Moves with it quickly. Lindsey Bernatis, Hannah Prilla, Jules Ott, Isabella Niles, and Kelsey Meyer on the floor for Baldwin, as Lindsey Bernatis has scored in all 3 quarters. Bench is just too slow to move the ball up the floor, and they do get it over with Bernatis driving in. Lindsey pulls up from the foul line and hits. Double figures for Lindsey Bernatis, now with 10. Stefano tried to pass it over to Meyer, but it's deflected a couple of times and in the hands of Olivia Weishar. Weishar up the floor. 3-on-2 emerges for Penn Trafford. Giving way to Johnson. Johnson's layups in. Bernatis. Lindsey drives all the way in. Left hand. It bounces in. Lindsey Bernatis with 12 points. Driving side Aquino. Misses everything. Might have been blocked. Thrown down low. Good pass to find Bernatis, who hits the layup. DeStefano to Fontana. Fontana still looking for her first points, and there they are with a 3 ball on the left side corner. A wink now to Stefano, swinging it across. Olivia Weishar in the corner, and Johnson. Swung on over again for a 3 ball up to Stefano. Trying to heat up. Lacey Bernatis needs an outlet. Johnson takes it away. Rhea Johnson with the steal. Niles defends. Johnson calls a foul and 1. Bernatis. It's Weishar moving up the floor in the final 36 seconds. To the corner. Fontana pulls for 3. They need it. They got it. Isabella Fontana, her second three. Fourth game saw Baldwin in the lead for all of the second half. And a strong effort, a strong performance by the Fighting Highlanders against Penn Trafford, a team that it lost to twice last year, a team that went undefeated in regular